Hello, welcome to the USF Open House for the St. Petersburg campus. Today we're going to talk about financial aid and the different types of aid that you can receive, and also the FAFSA application. This is the single application we use at USF in order to apply. So first of all, we're going to discuss some other scholarship opportunities available to you at USF, what else is available, how you actually apply, and then a couple words on Florida Bright Futures as well as Florida Prepaid, and then I will summarize. So first of all, if you have been offered or will be offered a USF admissions scholarship, that one is based on early application to the university as well as your test scores and or GPA. Admissions will talk to you more about that. However, be aware there are additional scholarship opportunities available to you at USF. These require a separate application than your admissions application. So if you would like to be considered for more than just your admissions scholarship, then you can visit us at www.usf.edu/scholarships. Now, this is a database of over 800 different kinds of scholarships available to you. These can be based on a variety of different topics, whether they are merit-based or academic. They could be need-based, that means financially needy. They could be based on your talents or any special interests you have or sports. So be sure that you do apply for these scholarships in addition to the admissions ones. You must be admitted as a USF student. It has already opened, and then the 22-23 deadline is February 1st, 2022 for all first-time in college students. So let me talk a little bit about the term financial aid. A lot of people think, oh, I applied or I will apply and I won't qualify. That's not true. Financial aid is kind of an umbrella term. It means any type of money that's going to help you pay for going to college. This could include money from the federal government, from the state government, from the university, as well as family money as well. Be aware that the federal government makes the assumption that students and parents are the primary source of funding for going to college. However, there are some calculations that are done in order to determine any kind of supplemental money that the government can help you pay for going to post-secondary education like college or university. And the first step for doing that is completing the FAFSA, or the free application for federal student aid. It is a free application. You should never have to pay to have somebody help you. So which FAFSA do you need? The question to answer is when you are starting. Now, every school has something called an academic year. And when you are thinking about different schools and making comparisons, this is an important question to ask. Some schools start in the fall and go through the spring and summer of the next year, like USF. Other schools begin in the summer and go through the fall and spring. So if you are considering USF and you are considered for early admission, meaning coming in the summer, keep in mind that you're going to need to complete 2 of those FAFSA applications. This is because summer is the end of our current 2021-2022 academic year. Then you would also need to plan ahead and be ready for the fall, which would be the next semester, but it's also a new academic year. So that would be the 2022-2023. Both of those are available now. I highly recommend that you go and complete those, and so that you have them on file. And the thing is, there's no penalty for applying for one. So even if you don't know whether you would be early admission or whether you're starting in the fall, I recommend do them both. It can't hurt you. If you don't get admitted for the summer, then nothing will happen with that FAFSA. It just goes away. Now, we have a priority deadline, January 1st of every academic year. What that means is when you apply before the end of this year for the following fall, then you can be considered for the maximum amounts of grants and work study where you work on campus. Otherwise, you may miss out on additional free money that would be available to you if you miss the deadline. So make sure you apply before January 1st. Our school code for USF, any campus, is 001537. So why do you need to complete the FAFSA? Well, think of it as your backup plan. It may be that you think right now everything is fine and dandy, you can pay out of pocket. Well, there are advantages to applying for the FAFSA, one of which is that it delays when you have to make a payment on your account, even if you decide not to use the money offered to you. So say, for example, you are offered student loans and you don't want to take student loans. You don't have to. But the fact that you have a FAFSA on file means that you have a delay in when you have to pay your bill. So that is one of the advantages of having a FAFSA. Plus, you don't know what the future holds. We know that with what happened with COVID, and there were a lot of families whose income changed drastically. So it might be that you thought, I'm not going to qualify for something, but you might. So when you complete the FAFSA, you will get something called an estimated family contribution. This is a calculation that includes parent income, parent assets, student assets. So it's not just a black and white, if we make this amount of money, we'll get grants. There's a lot of different numbers that go into that calculation. But the EFC is just the first part of determining what you're eligible for. The second part is called an estimated cost of attendance. These are basically your estimated college costs. Now, I refer to these as sticker shock. This is when parents see these estimates on the student account and they think these are your real costs of going to school. They're not. These are estimated and they are inflated on purpose. This is so that when we are determining the types and amount of money that your student will receive, that they will have a refund, that they have not only enough money to cover the direct costs, the money that you're paying directly to the school, but also those indirect costs that they will have throughout the semester. So, they've got to put gas in their car later in the semester. They have to get their laundry done. They may go out for pizza and may not eat on campus. Those are the kinds of considerations that go into indirect cost. But the estimated cost of attendance puts all of those into one bottom line number. And that bottom line number is called a cost of attendance. So every school across the nation uses this formula. It's the cost of attendance, which varies by college, minus the estimated family contribution, which remains the same from the FAFSA, and that determines the types of need-based money your student is eligible for. So some of those need-based types would be grants, like the Pell Grant. That's an entitlement. That's the exception. It doesn't matter when you apply for the when you apply for the FAFSA. If you are eligible financially, you would receive the Pell Grant. But the Florida Student Assistance Grant, Supplemental Education Opportunity Grant, and USF grants are all based on that priority deadline of January 1st, as well as financial need. And in addition, federal work study, where you have an opportunity to work on campus and earn a paycheck, that's also based on priority deadline. So be sure that you apply early every year. Then there are other types of aid considered non-need based. So even if you make six figures, then you could be considered for direct unsubsidized loans or parent loans to supplement any aid that your student may be receiving. In addition to scholarships, which can be considered both merit and or need-based. And once again, they could be based on academics, talents, athletic, or any kind of outside community or private applications. So once you submit the FAFSA, you'll receive your EFC. And after you're admitted, we receive that information generally within 2 weeks. Make sure you're following up on your USF email and checking your OASIS account, the student information account, because we will notify you if there are any additional documents that we need to finish your file. In December, we begin sending out award offers by email if you've been admitted for summer or fall. Parents will receive an electronic postcard if their email address is provided on the FAFSA as well. The award notice will provide you details of the different types of awards you will be receiving and the amounts of the aid you're eligible to receive. This information is also visible online in OASIS. Another quick little tidbit of information, once you have your award notice, you can kind of plug it into our cost calculator to understand whether you will have money owed out of pocket or whether you're going to have leftover money in a refund. So you can follow the link there and set that up on your phone, and it makes it real easy to determine the costs for the different schools. Now, Bright Futures, we're winding up here. The qualifications for receiving Bright Futures is different than the qualifications to keep Bright Futures once you're in the university. So this is to get it from the state. This is how the state determines what you're eligible for. But for example, once you are here after a semester, then in order to keep it, academic scholars, instead of a 3.5, you need a 3.0. So it's a different kind of level of maintenance rather than how you actually receive it as an award from the state of Florida. The current amounts are paid per credit hour. You can see that with academic and medallion. A note on Gold Seal. Gold Seal is primarily for career or trade schools, not generally available to universities. Now, if you have both Florida Prepaid as well as Florida Bright Futures, be aware that you can receive both of those types of aid. Bright Futures gets paid at the beginning of the semester. However, prepaid, there is a delay. It comes in about 30 days into the semester. If you have enough money coming in that exceeds your charges, then the student gets a refund of that leftover amount. So both prepaid and Bright Futures may pay for some of the same charges. So if you're double paid, you get the leftover in a refund. Reminders, the FAFSA is free. Pay attention to your deadlines, that there are different deadlines for different applications. Everyone qualifies for something, and submit a new FAFSA every year. It opens annually, and apply before December 31st in order to be considered for maximum funding. Parents, make sure that you know that there are privacy laws, that we can only speak to you when your student says we can. So you have to be listed as a parent on the FAFSA, and they need to do the online privacy release. So this is in addition to any admissions or registrar office authorizations. So keep in mind, different offices have different authorizations. And then for students, you need to ask us. If you have questions about your aid, if you don't understand it or don't understand your deadlines, make sure you're reading your USF email. I understand you may have a Gmail or a Yahoo or another type, but we do not send official communication to those emails. So you need to make sure you do that. And once again, you'll need to request the privacy release and complete that in order for us to speak with your parents without you. If you need more information, you can find it on our Get Started page, or you can give us a call. There's our number. We also have an event called FAFSA Fridays. There's the last one coming up of the year on December 3rd. So if you need some hands-on assistance, feel free to stop by. We'll be glad to help you. It's available in Bayboro Hall right outside our offices. And with that, thank you so much for your time.